And welcome to Healthcare Sucks. We're going to jump right into it tonight. There's a lot of different opinions, let's say, and rumors going around right now on lots of things. So let's start with the Wuhan 19 coronavirus. There's a lot of rumors that this is all from the deep people. You know who I'm talking about. That this is a hoax, that kind of thing. Well, I personally don't tend to believe in that theory at all or give in to that. Um, there are some people, even with bigger channels, that are giving in to that. Um, there's a lot of talk about the monies. I've covered the monies here, and I'm going to cover the big monies for a minute. The 4 trillion of the 6.2 trillion that went to the financial department and stuff. I don't even know how to explain to you guys how crazy that was and is. And giving these, not that they don't dip in and take money anyway, guys, let's not kid ourselves, but why the opportunity, they just opened the cash register and took $4 trillion basically to put it wherever the hell they want to put it. I'm very skeptical, and I have no trust or faith that they're going to do anything good with it other than pass it around. uh, you know, if you think about it, a lot of people did lose money during this little thing we had, the Wuha. Yeah. Um, so the big dogs, working with the big dogs, the rich got to keep getting richer. They just can't lose money. I mean, they just can't. They have to. They have to have that. And let's jump to the stock market real quick before we go to the banks. Stock market lost their butts, so they're getting fed a direct IV of money to go here, there, and everywhere, and to people, big businesses, and people, like I said, I covered it before, don't even have interests or don't even live in the United States. I'm disgusted. I just am. Okay, so let's go to the banks. Some of the biggest criminals of all. They are not too big to fail. They need to fail. Up from the ashes, we could create a fair banking. One World Bank, or World Bank, more or less, has got their greasy fingers in everything, guys, including the One World Order and the Agenda 21, along with their puppy dog, the WHO, that has played that game and tapped it down, and still misinformation coming out of their mouths left and right. But the banks, um, still nothing about postponing debts in the United States. Now, I believe it was Australia stepping up and doing some good things for their people. Canada, so. Um, some of the other countries, it's hit and miss. I haven't got Italy and France's thing yet. But as for America, that's just not going to wash what they're doing, and they could do debt forgiveness for as much money as they got. The second, let's call this the second bailout, which it is. And you hear this, oh, this time we put a little bitty tap it down thing on whether they could buy back stocks and this and that. That's no. Whenever we give money, let's just take Obamacare. Gave money to these inner community and all these other, uh, I call them drug dealing insurance companies because they're the middleman. No penalties. They could get away with spending, doing whatever. When it went to the states, they could get away with spending, doing whatever. There was these guidelines. They never listened to it. Now back to the banks, same scenario. They, even with this little bitty rule thing that you're hearing about, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. And they're going to take a lot of that money and run. And then a lot of them, like the airlines and other ones, aren't even happy. They want more. Like, when do we get it? Wait a minute here. The stimulus was supposed to be for us, was it not? Was it not? Was it not? I had to say that a couple times. And yet, we're the ones getting screwed the most. And I keep referring to Nancy Pelosi's famous quote, crumbs, crumbs. It is crumbs, guys. Come on, $1,200 a pop per person, and now we're coming to find out a lot of people ain't getting it. Come to find out today after researching, some illegal aliens are going to get it, but some of them aren't. But even any that aren't Americans that didn't pay taxes into this stuff for any. And see, that's where the Democrat part with these things, believe me, the Republicans did some bad stuff too, guys. I'm in fear of really looking what each party did to screw over America and to get free money to spend it on stupid crap. Because that's what this stimulus is turning out to be. Now, if it would have been, I'm being gifting here. A little bit to help Wall Street, a little dab for the banks, a little bit for the big businesses, but most of it, let's just say half of that amount. Say 1 trillion. We'll give them 1.2. We won't be greedy tonight. 1 trillion for the small business and all of us people. We should have got 10 grand to 20 grand a piece. Everybody. And I mean the people that are going to get screwed still. I have not. And no news station, none, has covered. I've called several. Of course, they're not answering, but I've left them. And I'm going to keep hounding the hell out of news stations. You guys should too, till we get an answer. But one more time, SSI, SSD, all the Social Security stuff, seniors, disabled, mentally ill, homeless, work out of your house. If you're self-employed, a lot of that balloon, you're not getting a dime. So far, I have found nothing. And there was a little rumor popped out there that they would maybe give us half of, excuse me, I broke the rule. Anyway, I don't care about, I'm breaking the rules. Breaking the law, breaking the law. You know who that is, or at least some of you do. Anyway, even if we were to get half of the crumbs, that's like a slap in the face, number one, to give half of what everybody should get, period. I'm just really disgusted. So I'm going to let the bank, let's let the money, I guess we're just going to have to sit back, grab our ankles, and see how bad it's going to be. Bottom line. So start grabbing, because that's what we're doing. All right, military movements. A lot of different YouTubers and news and my connections too. Talking that the military is moving all over the place. The borders, all over here. I watched another YouTuber tonight that was talking about movements over in Venezuela and other places. And I've been telling you guys to look at the Middle East because there's ships out there and things that have been going on. And I told you Mike from around the world said there was going to be, I believe, almost 1 million troops heading over that, or already over there, heading that way. We've got, right here in the United States, railroad trains going here and there. And, you know, there's just too much going on. Then we've got real quickly, the New York thing. As they get people from New York, and I don't blame them, man. I would be out of that place. I'd be gone. I'd have been gone way back. And some of those people were rich and fortunate enough to have homes in other areas. Well, they're tracking those people down and going door to door and making calls to those people and all kinds of crazy stuff. Showing up at their houses, beating at their doors. And, you know, rumor is making them a forced quarantine. Then we've got the quarantine thing is going to get a lot more severe because they're talking that is the only way that's making this thing better. And, you know, maybe it is a portion of it. Okay, let's just give it that. But this is America, guys. And go back and watch my videos way back when we were talking about this. It's one thing to lock down a communist country like China, but it's a whole different ballpark to lock down America. And they're trying to blame it on the people that are in the kids that are going out. Yes, it's true. And I'm sure they're spreading because of that. But it's still America, guys. And maybe that is our downfall, is our freedom in this particular instant. But it just don't feel right. I got to be honest with you guys. They've got everybody locked down in their homes voluntarily now. I want to put forth another, I always put forth these things to you because I've been pretty on it so far. I mean, Team 99, we're like the winners here, man. We're like all over it ahead of time. But I've watched some people covering this too, is the 5G thing. Most of you know 5G is supposed to come in and it warps your brain. And they were even made to take down towers that were near schools because kids had gotten cancer and all kinds of stuff. And the bottom line is they never did the research on none of this stuff, even on our cell phones. They found ways around it not to make payments to people and to tap it down and say it's all good, it's all good. But the 5G, it definitely is not healthy. And it's been proven that, with those kind of waves, that's like frying our DNA and other. You'll have to look. You guys, I'll try to do some. We'll bring you some 5G stuff. I'll just obligate myself. I'll bring you some, and we'll look at it together. But with that, this is what I see. This is what I see. The internet's slow. A lot of people are locked up. They're like, we have to have our internet. We have to have our internet. So I think what you're going to see is it's going to go slow speeds. It's going to start to have interruptions. And then out of this background comes this hero code 5G. Dun, 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 dun. You know who that is. If you don't, it's a Western, I'll give you that. Anyway, galloping in on horseback is the 5G team. Yes. And I think the people will just welcome it in. We needed our internet, and now 5G busted through. In the crisis moments when it absolutely looked like it was going to go down, or maybe it will go down a little bit, just to scare people. And then the 5G thing, and everybody's from the fear is going to be the opposite. All of a sudden, we need 5G. We need 5G. You watch. I see it coming, guys. I just do. But there's so many things. It's moving so fast right now. One quick run now to China. I don't candy coat this. China, this is a man-made bioweapon act of war. That they did this. They released this. They set back. They watched what happened. There's so many things tied in that are going to circle around China and how they're going to benefit out of this. You watch. Just watch. And the China people they were sacrificial lambs. But they, with the way this was rolled out and the damage is done, again, one more time, no sick military, no sick factory cities. They were never short on supplies, I'm just telling you. The emperor's family been dancing in the streets with the president, more or less. You know what I'm saying. No illnesses. And now they want to make him a hero. I covered it. Like, if you didn't watch one of my videos from the last couple days, go back and watch it. Like, I can't remember the stupid award that they gave to different people. I'm not going to say, if I said people that got it, it would seem like I was being prejudiced, or maybe left or right would come after me for saying certain names. Go look them up yourself. But they want to give them that. And then they're shipping out stuff now, so they look like the heroes they're given now. After giving us, the U.S., that. That's what they told us. India told us that too, by the way, with the antibiotics. The problem is that they've been caught. I covered it. Some of their test kits and other things are defective. Now that shows more of the act of war. See, you get people sick, you draw all their supplies back, you give them supplies, but you give them the blankets. Remember with the Indians? Remember the Indians and the blankets? Yes. You remember, you've been up, you 99, you're watching, you know, I've kept up on this with you guys. Smallpox. But this may turn out to be even equally or worse than smallpox. In a way. Okay, and that was like an act of war on the Indians by our government. As far as I know, that's true. Quote, if I'm wrong, let me know. So, you give people the supplies, they're defective or they don't work right, or they're maybe even infected at some point. We don't know, guys. Nobody's checking that stuff. They're so happy to have it, they're just cracking open them boxes and throwing those masks on. I would personally, before I would touch anything, I'm even hesitant to buy anything from the dollar store right now because I feel like we're at probably the stuff is here in your dollar store today. And I'm not fear-mongering. I mean, they only have such a big warehouse. So maybe it isn't quite, but let's say the new stuff as it comes in from over there. You know, and they can deep seed stuff so... I mean, a lot of their toys were known to give kids cancer over the years, and that was covered up. I know some of you know about that kind of stuff. So this is the war technically without a bullet fired so far. Now I watched a show tonight. We may cover a little bit in the next video. I've already probably talking 20 or 30 minutes tonight. But on Tucker, they were talking about the financial things with China, how China would be buying and how we owe money to China and owed this. And one thing I heard that I liked out of that whole conversation of financial this and that and China buying and us buying and owing and all this is that when this is over, I mean, the only reason we're playing nice, supposedly, is we need China because we outsourced our stuff like dumb, you know what's, and now we need their stuff. You know, we don't. We just don't. We could learn to live with... Guys, we're already locked up in our houses. Why do we need their crap? Why do we risk having their stuff? I mean, it's just ignorant to be doing this. And to feeding them cash. And to giving them whatever they want at some point. No, what I heard out of this one guy's mouth, and I loved it, is there's a day of reckoning coming for China, more or less. Those are my words, but it's more or less what he said. And that's the way I put it. A day of reckoning. And like I've told you in a few videos back, I think we should all sue the hell out of China. Because it's not the China people, it's the China government. And we owe them money right now, so screw it. We don't owe them nothing. Bing, zero. Zero that out. China, we don't owe you a penny. What are you going to do about it? You going to come over like we already kind of think you're planning to do? You know, I think that happened during a Vietnam War-ish kind of situation. You might look into that. However, moving on, they do and are going to have to pay for what they've done and they are doing. And don't trust them, and they are not no heroes, guys. Now, again, I've covered other things going on. We really should keep an eye on the earthquakes. I've been keeping them there's been some pretty big ones, but they've hit in certain areas or they haven't done a lot of damage. So I'm really watching the Ring of Fire right now, guys. There's more going on there. It's just we're busy, again, watching over here. Another subject I brought up, I want to bring up one more time, I feel. Oh, well. And we'll go to the pretty picture. because I'm not going to be able to add nothing to this. It's already long enough. You know, I think I've talked enough, guys. I just have. And I don't want to bore you or have you get mad at me because I'm rattling on or something. But you think about what I've said. Let me know what your feelings are. And where we're going and stuff. Now, what I was going to tell you, I'll make it quick here at the end, is Mike from around the world, Israel News Live, and 2 or 3 other stations that are pretty good sized stations have covered 2 different things. Some meteors coming in about 3 months to 9 months from right now. We're already 3 months into that. And then, I don't know if you kept up on this, there's a huge chunk of rock out there and all kinds of stuff behind it. Suppose this might be what they're talking about, but they picked it up and there's so much dust and debris that they can't even tell what's behind, supposedly what's behind it. And that's the bullshit, excuse me, that bugs the hell out of me, is it's so dusty or whatever, we can't see behind it. And again, as far as I can throw a cow, I don't trust them. And if you guys know or kept up on NASA, I'm not even going to go into NASA. And, you know, we had, in the past, we've had weird, like, telescope, big telescopes shut down and people pulled out, and all because of some porn one of them was and stuff. I don't think so, guys. Nobody's that stupid. So there's things going on, is what I'm saying. So again, I'm going to end this with pray. Do what you need to survive. Get your stuff in order. I mean, it's almost to the point you're not going to be bugging out. Really soon, I don't think you're going to be allowed to bug out. The people I've talked to that are going to the mountains, if you're not already on your way, you're not going to get there probably. And however you get into the mountains, you better go deep and hard. And any kind of cell phones, you better find a way to block it out, because they can follow us everywhere. It's out there all over the internet. They're watching and doing and seeing. So you better go deep and hard if you go out, because they've blocked off. You're not allowed to go in no forest. You're not allowed to go to no camping sites. Unless you know somebody has a bunch of private land you can go up on. And then, from what it sounds, guys, they're trying to say we can't even have guests in our house. I mean, it was brought up by one group that they were going to have a get-together at their house. I'm not talking family members and stuff. I'm talking out, some neighborhood thing. And they basically shut them down and said they couldn't have it in their own house. That's kind of tyranny, kind of communist, kind of almost that word, remember, I try not to use, Nazism. And we covered that about the papers to go here, papers to go there. So we covered quite a bit, guys. When I come back, I'm bringing you the news as far as watching things and doing things tonight, because there's a lot of things out there that are going on. The president, I watched some of that today. He got in this argument with the newscasters, and he just don't want to answer some questions, period. And he feels like they're targeting, which they have targeted him, have they not? But a few of the questions, I was kind of curious for what the answer would be, and he wouldn't give. So, sometimes we sit back and we think it's to our benefit and our good. Right now, I'm questioning everything, everywhere that's going on. And one more thing before I go from this video. Keep your eyes out there right now and over there, and keep your camera ready to go. Send me anything that you get that's good, or you privately. Send it to my email if it's good. And you get something that you want to share, just either put, yes, I want my first name to go out with it, or first name in state, or I don't want nothing. You can just run it, and I'll run it. But there's things going on that we need to be watching. So with that, healthcare sucks. Still got the throat thing, guys. I'm going to be okay, though. I've been a little tired off and on, but I keep going. That's how I roll. And I tried to get some sleep off and on, but you can only get what you can get. And I had kind of a headache up here, but I wouldn't worry about it. You guys are praying for me, so you know the Lord acts in mysterious ways, so I'm covered. And I project the shield and the armor of Jesus Christ our Savior for everybody out there who would like to have it. I'm asking that it be given to you and to me. And I bless you all. And just remember one thing. You only have to ask to have your sins forgiven, even until the end. If you watch I'm going to run that whole thing back together one time, the 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and 7 bowls. But even at the last minute, you get a last chance to just say, all you got to do is admit it. I mean, that's pretty forgiving that God would be like that. Now I know there's people out there that have different gods or different beliefs and whatever. This is what I believe in. And I'm not going to knock yours, but I'm just throwing it at you. So with that, have a good night, and I'll be back.